To approve the minutes of our previous meeting.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Greg Cross,
Here.
Brian,
Here. Yes.
Leach,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Jack.
Yes. First order, who here is on with Perkins? Okay. How we're going to handle this, first we're going to tell you how that property was able to be subdivided. Then after that, I'm telling you what we're doing from this point, from that point on, okay? And then if you have any questions afterwards that we could answer, there's nothing really we're going to be able to answer, and you'll understand that after I go through what we're doing and how we're doing things, okay? Jordan is from East Tennessee Development District, and he's with the State Planning Office, and he's the one we go to for guidance. And this property met everything we had, and I'll let him explain that.
Yeah, so they submitted a subdivision plat, was it a couple of months ago, whenever it was, and basically they just shifted some lot lines around, and their subdivision plat met our requirements, so we really can't deny it. We did not approve any buildings there. That's a separate process. To get structures approved there, they have to get a building permit for each one of them. That's not our forte. Our forte is to look at the subdivision plat and to assess it to see if it meets our guidelines, which we did, and it did. So we approved it, and that's it.
And then from that point, what happened is if that developer had gone in there and done one lot at a time, all this problem wouldn't have happened. And this is the ruling that while we're doing this for us. The first one is land distribution activity, 1 or more acres. Each lot is less than 1 acre. So if they've done one lot at a time, they wouldn't fall under that. The second part is if less than 1 acre is what they're doing with a larger common plan. So what they did, they went in there and they basically stripped everything off and they started digging. Okay. That's when the mayor's office gives them a stop work order. You know, you haven't seen anybody over there, the equipment, everything's gone. And what we've done from there, we have sent, we were supposed to meet this morning with TDEC. TDEC postponed us till next week. So as soon as we meet with TDEC, we'll be able to answer some more questions. First, now this was sent to the property owner. Grading plan showing areas of fill requiring compaction and geothermal services for testing. A hydrology study to determine if retention is required from pre and post development. Storm event required for study to be based on requirements for flood prone areas downstream. The next one is hydraulic determination of water course within to determine if it is to be wet weather conveyance or not a stream. Vegetation buffer zones are required for streams, average 30 foot for non-impaired, average 60 foot for impaired. Tennessee Department of Conservation and Environment, that's TDEC. It's actually supposed to be Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, have been notified. And it said should be notified. We have already notified them. So the should's already out of this. We have already notified them, and they are going to come in and look at this property to see what needs to be done, what the contractor's going to have to do, and this is all going to be based on what the state comes in and tells us. Right now, it's out. We have moved it over to TDEC, which has more force on what they can do with a stream to tell us if it's a stream or if it's a wet weather area. Carroll Jacksboro Utilities, the mayor's office, ERTEC, which is the people that's looking for at the flooding, and then myself. I've gone over to make sure that we hear everything firsthand and I can pass it on to our commission members and anybody else that has any questions. If y'all leave me your phone numbers before you leave, I'll be happy to contact you after I talk to TDEC. But I want y'all to be aware that we had that stop order in, and we're trying our best to alleviate any situation that you might have. Now, as far as manufactured homes, there's nothing in Jacksboro's regulations that prevents manufactured homes. The only thing we have is the setbacks. So when they drew plans up, we wanted to make sure that whatever home they put in there, whether it's stick built or whatever, met the setbacks, plus it had to be facing the main road. You can't have a 50-foot lot and turn your house sideways and every other house is this way. So everything had to meet those specifications too. But right now, everything's on hold until we hear back from TDEC with the water problems, if that's a stream or what it is, and what the next step is going to be. So after we talk with TDEC and we get their advice, then we can go on to the next step. Does anybody have any questions that I might be able to help a little bit there? But the main thing we're waiting on is TDEC. Yes?
Once TDEC has completed their report and gotten back to you, would it be at your next scheduled
We will,
meeting? Or
if you'll give us phone numbers, I'll contact you and tell you when we're gonna have it. We're not gonna leave you in the cold. We'll let you know when we're gonna have it. But if you get it back to us in time, it'll be the first Thursday in December. That's a couple weeks out. But you know the state, it may be a little bit longer, but they've got a stop order until this is done. So nothing's gonna be done until we get something from TDEC.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If you will, if somebody's got anybody here got a pencil and paper that you could give me some phone numbers? If not,
I got a pen, you got a.
I got a pen, he's got a paper, what we'll do, we'll pass this around, and if you want me to contact you by call or by text, just put that on there, and I'll send that.
$5 million house.
Pardon me?
I said, that ain't my issue at all. I ain't got nothing against modular homes and stuff like that, but when you stick one in between $500,000 houses, what's that do to our property values?
We understand that, but there's nothing in Jacksboro's regulations that prevents that. That would have to be in your restrictions in your subdivision, and then you would have civil action that you could do.
Yes.
Well, according to the paperwork that I've got, there is, but if you take the wheels out from under it,
Well, I mean, that would be a civil action. You can get a lawyer, you can stop that.
so in the city of
Jacksboro
Jacksboro,
can't.
just say for instance, the city of Jacksboro, I've got a camper.
Right.
I jerk the wheels out from under it and put it on a permanent foundation.
No,
I can put it in dog, why not? It's a modular home.
has to be a certain size.
It's not permitted, you can't permit a camper.
It has to be a manufactured housing.
Gotta have building permit, certificate of occupancy. So, but if you've got deed
If the
restrictions,
building permit comes through for a modular, does it go by the IBC, I mean?
yes,
Southern
building
Building
code,
Code?
yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
For a modular?
Well-
So it would be required the same
Yes.
Same as a stick
Exactly.
as a stick built?
Yes.
Yes. And there's two. You have manufactured housing and you have modular homes, and they're under two different ones.
They are, and manufactured used to be what we think is mobile, and it's now manufactured, and modular is built inside somewhere. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand all that. I'm just wondering how we got from allowing the modulars, if it had to be building permitted, and if it's the International Building Code, then,
That's it. It has to be by code. And see, that's just like a modular home. If you put it on your property, it doesn't have to have electrical inspection or anything. Because it's already done. They've already got all the permits, everything's already done. There's no plumbing. It's just getting it to your house.
So a single wide or a double wide that Jacksboro allows? The manufactured home.
A right now, they have single wides and double wides, but we are we're looking into the single wide issue. Because I'm from the old school, a single wide to me, was always a trailer. Anybody that ever grew up, I lived in a trailer one time. That's the first house I ever had was a trailer,
Right.
you know. But then after I did that, I sold the trailer and I bought a double wide. It's still sitting on the same property, it's still in good shape. So we had something that was built to code, and it's lasted forever. But now, as far as single wides, we are looking into that issue. And that will be something that we could bring to the council, and the council could do an ordinance to prevent that.
So currently Jacksboro allows single wide, right?
In certain areas,
Only in
yes.
certain zones, yes.
Yes,
Certain zones.
Yeah.
In residential?
yes.
In one of they're allowed in R2, but not R1, or the other way around?
I'm not sure, we'll have to look to see. I don't remember off the top of my head.
do you happen to, is Mount Perkins not R1?
Yes,
Okay.
but now, you have a thing in there for size and everything else in your restrictions.
I do, but you just said that the restrictions don't count.
Well, no, I didn't
Unless
say
it's
the
enforced by
restrictions.
civil.
Yeah, that's it. You all have to do that. But see, you can come up there and you can get a stop order as soon as they come in.
Right.
That would be,
That's a step for us to take as
The
a,
first
as a
lot
neighborhood.
Yes.
coming up on the left, the first one they started with,
mhm,
you said the houses had to be straight facing the road.
yeah.
That house is not gonna be straight facing the road with the plans. It's turned
Well,
cockeyed.
as long as the front of it is facing the road.
No, it's turned to face his house.
That's it.
Turned.
I think that's the one he's talking about. The
Oh.
first one as you're coming up the hill.
Yes.
Okay. Well, they haven't done anything, so we'll look at that when they do the building permit.
How would we find guidelines to find complaints with the building permit? I mean, where is the information from the planning commission?
You can get a copy, just request a copy, and they'll run a copy for you.
Okay.
Just tell them what you're interested in, and they'll run a copy of that particular section. Anybody else have any questions that we can help with at the present time? Like I said, there's a lot of things that we don't know right now that we can't answer to. We can't speak to because it'd be giving you misinformation, and we don't want to do that. So after we see TDEC and then we get more information, like I said, I'll be happy. That list that's going around, I can call you or text you, just put on there which way you want to do, and I'll do that. And my number, so you don't think it's a false number, if you want to write it down. My last 3 digits, or last 4 digits is 4366. So if you get something last 4 is 4366, you'll know it's from me. And I know there was somebody come in and asked for our phone numbers. The town does not provide our phone numbers out because they are our personal numbers and the town does not pay for them. So they're not required to give those out. But I'll take whatever calls you want to get, and I'll be happy to answer whatever you have after we talk with TDEC. Anybody else have any questions that we might be able to answer now?
Jack, if we get a restriction up there as of now, is all this already grandfathered in since it's already been approved? So, you know what I'm saying, does it matter if we get a restriction, or does it start from here on out?
It'll be start from here on out. What we're trying to do is, we'll know what legs we have to stand on after we see with TDEC. But yes, whatever's in there right now would be grandfathered in. Y'all would have to get some kind of restrictions to go forward. So if there's other, and there's other lots in there that they can put this stuff on. Everybody's seen empty lots in there. So y'all need to get together if you want to. It'd have to be the community would have to get together and do that to add restrictions that whatever it is.
Okay.
Because like I said, if we set something that says, okay, your house has to be 80 by 120, well, that would be for the whole town. Anytime they start to build a house, it'd be the same way. So we just have basic instructions on what you can do. So I know that doesn't help a whole lot, but that's where we're at. Yes.
How about the sight line when you're coming off that hill? Because you're supposed to have a certain sight, like distance when you're coming out, because I'm telling you, if they start pulling out and you're coming down that hill, I mean, it could cause a fatality.
We look on Butter Egg Road. We have some other things over there as well. So and Sharp Acres is the same way. If you come out of Sharp Acres, you got that hill right there and you can't see coming out of Sharp Acres.
So, but what, isn't there a state guideline? Because when I talked to the guy that was here,
This gentleman right here could answer that question,
Yeah.
because we had that issue over on Butter Egg Road, and he was the one that,
like the sight distance, I think is what he called it.
There is a sight distance. It's actually required as a stopping distance.
Okay.
So we look at those, whether the road is wet and or dry, and the vehicle type. I can't remember exactly what those numbers are, but you can find those. They're state and engineered as well. And we did one for Cox, wasn't
yeah.
it? I think it's what we did for Cox. We were able to prove that there was enough sight distance to stop the vehicle at the speed limit. Now, the complication we had there is we had to do a count, had to do a vehicular count, and what they write, 4 tickets for, ended up writing 4 tickets for people doing greater than 90 miles per hour on Butternut Road. And I think they issued 75 other warnings, so that's more of a legal issue, not, not something that's engineered. But there are regulations to go.
And the thing is, in your subdivision, it's 20 mile an hour. That's what's.
It doesn't matter though, I come out of this
25
bar,
an
when I
hour.
hit that
Is it
hill,
25? Okay.
if somebody, it's a blind spot, so if you're not expecting, it's just a really bad,
Okay. Let's look at that issue as soon as we get with TDEC, okay?
Okay.
Then that'll give us something else that we can look at. But right now, if TDEC goes in there and says something that they can't do, everything else is a moot point. Okay, so let's get that first thing and then go to the next step. Because you got a stop work order in there right now, and nothing's gonna be done until we hear from TDEC. And I've got y'all's information here, one text, and everybody else wants a phone call. So I'll just give you a phone call, and if you don't answer, I'll just leave a message and you can call me back. And it's usually anytime you want to, up till about 10 o'clock at night, so. That way, if you get off work, you don't have to hesitate about calling me. I'll be happy to answer your call. Anybody else have any questions? All right, next item on the agenda. Mr. Norton and Doherty, I think that was you two. This is with the Image Dance Studio building?
Magic Dance.
Magic. Let's go over the gentleman here so we can look at it, if you don't care.
We'll find out.
No, go ahead, sir, I'm following in behind here.
I'm in the wrong spot. I think they're getting ready to do something else now.
That's a different group right here. How you doing, Greg?
You know, sounds so good. You know, sounds so good.